There's something that concerns me that we need to talk about right now, and that is that the majority of the world is going through a form of depression. And we've learned to, hey, not talk about it because you know what? That makes people feel weak, or that is a sign of weakness, or you can get over it fast and you don't need no help and you need to work and get through life and stop crying about things and stop acting like a victim, and that's what everyone thinks. But depression is not a joke, and it's something you shouldn't play with because everyone's gone through it except no one talks about it. I know to some it's not a big deal, moving to a new place or making new friends or having a crazy teacher that yells at you every single day. But to me, it was a big deal. And to me, that is what triggered my depression. And that is something that was the most difficult time of my life. Not only did I have those crazy moments, but there was people like talking about me in front of me, always making me feel like I wasn't good enough, always telling me, hey, what can you see? What is this? What is that? Like, oh my god, it was so overwhelming. Like, school was something that was not pleasant. And eventually, I started to feel sad all the time, and I started to feel disengaged. And I started not focusing in class, and I started to daydream, and I started to just be in my own world. And I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to be with anyone. I didn't want to really do anything that I loved anymore. I was in this feeling of like disconnectedness, and I felt like I wasn't even in my body. Like my emotions were just one or none for that matter. I felt as if I was just watching everyone, but I was in a state of not caring about anyone. And this led to thoughts of negativity and thinking like, why am I here? And why do I deserve to be here if everyone treats me this way? And whatever, the world's not gonna miss me. And that's how I felt. And I started to have thoughts of suicide and how I was going to do it, when it was gonna happen. And eventually I was like, there comes a day when I'm going to do this. And then when that day came, I had this thought. And my brother was in the top bunk, and my parents weren't sleeping. And then the voice in my head's like, "Well, why are you doing this? Your brother's in the top bunk. Well, how would he feel without you? Your parents are in the room. How would they feel without you?" And I started to play that scenario of not being there for them, and it made me feel sad and upset, thinking that why would I want to do that to myself? Why would I want to take myself out when there is people that love me, when they have supported me through the downs that I was going through at the moment. My parents were there at the time when no one else was, and they would be there for me and take me lunch to make me feel better. I just started to feel grateful for them, and then I started to, little by little, pick myself up. It wasn't fast, it was difficult, and it was a hard time. Like, I was still with that teacher. Yes, I felt sad, but I never had those thoughts of suicide. But I was still depressed. And then eventually I knew I had to get over it. Somehow I had to fight back, and I had to raise my self esteem and find my worth again. Once I stood up to the teacher and I started to defend myself from those bullies, I started to feel better, and I started to have higher self esteem and knowing that I was strong to overcome this. Because if you let people step all over you and make you feel honestly like shit, then you're not gonna get over anything. So you have to really be strong and know your place, because no one knows where your place is. Once you find that balance of your own strength and knowing where you stand, you know that you don't deserve to be bullied and you don't deserve to be treated this way. And once you know that you don't deserve to be treated this way, you will never let anyone cross that boundary again. And we had this meeting, I told the teacher and everyone else about this lady, and it made me feel better about that. People agreed that I shouldn't have been treated this way, and I should have said something sooner so they could have done something about it. But I was such in my lows that I didn't know that there was help. And when you feel so low, you don't know there's help out there. That's how I felt. You feel like you're in a box, you're in a bubble, and you know that no one's going to understand you. They're going to think you're weak. And that is not true. There's tons of people that want to help you. I know people were like trying to hang out with me at lunch, and I would just say, no, no, it's okay, I don't want to. Just avoiding people in general and just not trying to get hurt like I used to get hurt. And that was something that I shouldn't have done because I pushed those people that really wanted to help me away. And later, I started to adapt and I started to make friends and I started to, say, hey, you know what? This is going to be my life and I have to accept it. And sometimes accepting something new, something uncomfortable is hard, but you can't resist it. You have to go with it or else it's going to pull you down into these negative thoughts, and then you're going to be in this hole of sadness, depression, and you don't know how to get out. You don't know how to get out if you're on your own. You're like drowning. You don't know where the rope is. You don't know where the ladder is. There comes a point when you have to realize that there is more to life than you know. And sometimes you may feel like you may not belong in this life. When you're in your lows of lows, you think that people will be better off without you, but that is not true. Even the friends that you think are not that close to you, they will miss you, and people that you impacted will miss you. And you're not just a person that is here just because. You're a person that's here for a reason. You're here because you are needed and you are going to make a difference. But you don't know that. We don't know that yet because we don't know what's going on in our body. We don't know what's going on in our head, in our mind, and we don't know how our life will be in the future. All we know is this moment in time, how we feel right now. And obviously, I'm not a doctor. What helped me might not help you. And obviously, you seek help however you like, counselor, therapist, any of the help that is out there that you need. You go out there and get it. And don't be ashamed to get whatever help that you need, but you can't just avoid everyone and be stuck in your bed, stuck in your house, not doing the best that you can do. There's many forms of depression and we may not even know that we have it. You can have mild, moderate, or severe, but no matter what form you get, you can get help and get it treated as soon as possible. And honestly, I'm going to say something and it might be sensitive or insensitive, but I think that depression is not something that is genetic. It is something that happens within the confines of your mind. And it's something that is created by our negative thoughts. It is created by all this low self esteem, low worth. It's just all these things piling up inside your mind, which is creating this feeling of sadness in your brain. Your brain and the chemicals are obviously have something to do because you got all this serotonin and this dopamine going on in your brain, and one chemical is stronger than the other depending on how you feel. But you need to know that you are not your depression. Depression is not you. It's something that you're going through. It's something that you're dealing with. And it's something that can be overcome no matter if it takes 1 year, no matter if it takes two, three, four, whatever it takes. Just know that you're doing your best wherever you're at. And honestly, it doesn't matter what people think. And if people can't support your journey of going through depression and can't be there for you when you're sad, when you're crying, when you're upset, when you're at your lowest, when you're trying to tell them all the emotions that you're feeling and they are avoiding it all and telling you that you are just exaggerating, that you should get over it like that and get a job and do something better with your life, then they're not worth being with. They're not worth sticking in your life, and you should go find someone else, someone that's going to be there for you, someone that's going to hold your hand when you're having a difficult day, someone that's going to love you no matter what is happening in your life, and someone that's going to try hard to understand what you're going through, even though they will not, and just someone that's going to guide you into the right directions. That is someone you should always be around, because a strong support system is necessary to go through what you're going through. And it's not something that is wrong, and it's not something to be ashamed of, but it's something that can help you. And no matter what form it is that will help you, whether it's exercise or running or yoga or reading a book or antidepressants, it is something that is helping you. You are doing the best you can, and there's nothing wrong with choosing what you're choosing. And people may say, well, you chose the wrong thing. You shouldn't be taking pills, or you should be more natural, but it doesn't matter, because it's you and your journey, it's you and your body, and whatever makes you feel better, and whatever is literally helping you take the next step to recovering and getting better, that is the way and path you should take. Continue moving forward and do what you do best, and don't look back and don't regret how you feel, and accept how you feel, and know that there are better times coming, and know that this is temporary. You can get through it and you will get through it. And once you look back on it, you'll be like, I can't believe I went through that. And maybe we'll all go through it again, but it's another chapter and it's another journey, and we kind of understand what depression feels like. And that's why I think personally that I went through depression about once or twice. It's scary, and it's a scary feeling, and we think we're not going to go through it again, but we don't know that. We don't know what events are going to happen in our lives. We don't know what's going to throw us backwards again. But we can just live life and don't think about it at the moment, and just don't even expect it. And if it happens, it happens. You know what to do, you know who to reach, you know you know the emotions that you may feel while you're going through it. And you know that you are able to get through it no matter how hard it was, and it will, no matter how hard it will be, but there is a way. And once you know that there is a way, maybe it'll be shorter, maybe the process will be faster, and you'll overcome that depression. And again, I'm not a doctor, I don't know what I'm saying, it's just personal experience, and it was fun making this video. And when I make this video and I talk about my moments of difficulty that I went through and the hardships that I went through, it makes me feel better. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe and see more of me, hit the bell button so you won't miss any video. And I'll see you next time.